Chapter 6. Easier than the Hulk. "What's going on?" said Susie. "What?" They had once again driven to Lodlil, and once again Susie had parked with difficulty, opened up the back doors of the van and pressed the button to fold down the ramp. But then she held up a hand to stop Amy wheeling her chair down to it. "What's going on?" she said again. "Huh?" said Amy. "Don't play the innocent with me, Ames. Where's your new chair?" Amy looked down as if surprised, as if somehow she'd not noticed that she'd come all the way to the supermarket in her old wheelchair. Which, to be fair, her mother hadn't, but then again, Susie was rushed and tired, and outside their house she had been on the phone arguing with Amy's dad. "Oh, come on, Amy, where is it?" I'm just getting used to it." "Pardon?" Yes, turns out that the new wheelchair is a bit fast for me. When you push the lever forward, it moves forward really quick, so I thought I'd leave it in my room for a minute until I've got used to it." Susie narrowed her eyes at her daughter. "We spent ages on the internet checking out motorised wheelchairs. At your request." "I know, but... and your dad, who must have been on the phone too, paid for most of it. And as Mr. I'm not made of money, is he calling himself that?" said Amy. "Yes, you know how he's like. He likes to make himself very clear." "Whoa," said Jack. "You actually spoke to him? Is it Christmas?" "No, Jack," said Susie warily. "It's not Christmas." "Oh no, that's right, because if it was Christmas, he had sent us a depressing card, the one with Santa Claus in his old car instead of a sleigh. The same one he sent us for the last 3 years. Jack was speaking from the passenger seat, without looking up from his phone or taking off his headphones. "I love that card," said Amy, wheeling herself down the ramp. "Shut up, Jack." "Oh, good," said Susie. "But meanwhile, your new chair wasn't cheap. And if he knows you're not using it, well, he won't be really happy." "Really? You know your dad, Amy? He's not an easy man." "Oh, I don't know," said Jack. "He's easier than, say, the Hulk." "Just, okay," said Amy, who hated it when the family conversation began to get a bit anti-dad, which it did quite a lot. "I'll start using it soon, Mum, don't worry." "She's paid someone to pimp her ride, I reckon," said Jack, finally stretching his long legs out of the car. He was at that teenage boy age where he still looked young, but had grown very tall, a bit like a stretched-out toddler. "Is that a joke? What does that even mean?" said Susie. "It means to make a car all flash and exciting with add-ons and lights and stereo systems and stuff," said Amy. "And of course it's a joke. Everything he says is a joke." "Everything he says is a joke?" Jack repeated. "Well, it is," said Amy, "particularly in this case. I mean, it's obvious. One ride you could never pimp out is a wheelchair." And she wheeled off in her old chair as fast as she could go. Chapter 7. Better than all my other inventions. "Come on," hissed Amy. "Nearly done." It was Raoul's voice calling from inside his workshop. By workshop, what I mean is his dad's garage, which was at the back of the warehouse, which they also lived above. From behind the door came the sound of banging and hammering and scraping. From Amy's point of view, more banging and hammering and scraping. She had been outside for nearly an hour. "Can't I just come in?" "No, I won't look. I don't believe you." "Hello, Amy," said Raoul's dad. Sanjay's coming out of the warehouse, a clipboard in hand. "What's happening?" "I'm making something, Dad," shouted Raoul. "Oh, good," said Sanjay. "Raoul is a very good inventor, you know, Amy." "Yes, I know," said Amy. "One day he's going to invent something incredible, and it's going to make us all very rich. I'm 100% convinced of it." "Oh, you've gone up a percent." "I have." "Yes, normally say 99%. Ha, you see, my confidence has gone up." "What are you working on, Raoul?" "Is it the Learning Toast XFF514? Is it like that Toast Butterer 678X? said Amy. "No," shouted Raoul. "It's a piece of toast that you get from the Toast Butterer already well buttered. Then you place it on the book or wherever it is you want to learn from. Then with all the words you have soaked in the toast, you eat it." "What?" "Yes, and then you learn the words." "Brilliant. Quite brilliant, said Sanjay. Right, said Amy. And anyway, I'm not working on it. The robotic returning cup, Z45, said his dad. I love that one. Let me guess, Raoul, said Amy. A cup that flies back to the sink after you finish your drink. So your mum doesn't have to pick it up with lots of cups from your room. Yes, well, it doesn't fly back, it walks back. Walks? It's got little legs that come out automatically when your cup is empty. Well, it will when I've finished it. But no, Dad, he said, raising his voice, I'm not working on that either. Oh, what are you working on, said Sanjay. Something better than all those. Better than all my other inventions. And with that, Raoul pressed the button to open the garage door. With a metallic groan, it began to rise. Chapter 8. Upside down fish tank. Unfortunately, Raoul's big reveal didn't work out that well, as a door creaked and stuttered and halfway got stuck. Have you thought about inventing something to make the garage door open easily, Raoul? No, Dad. You need to get that fixed by a grown-up. OK, try pressing the button again. Raoul did. The door creaked and stuttered again, but then jerked up, opening all the way, to reveal Raoul standing by something it wasn't quite recognisable as anything as first. Somewhere in there, definitely, was Amy's wheelchair, but it was hard to see, as 3 more chairs had been fastened to it. Not wheelchairs, ordinary chairs, one next to Amy's chairs and 2 behind it. There was a series of pipes and wires connecting all the bits of it together, and the whole thing, to make a roof and glass windows, had been placed what looked like 2 enormous upside-down fish tanks. The Taylor Turbochaser, said Raoul proudly, gesturing to it with a big arm movement. Amy and Raoul's dad looked on open mouth. ZX115, Raoul added. You really must get on with a robotic returning cup, said Sanjay eventually. So looking back on these chapters that I've just read, it said something about Hulk. And I want to know, if you was a superhero, what would it be?